and Councillor Soprovich is next.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Well, I too have received an immense amount of reading. I will tell you that tomorrow I can delete a lot of the messages, which is filling my phone so far that I don't have any space left. In my view, I have only one obligation, and that is to the taxpayers of West Vancouver. In consideration of the B-line service extending beyond Park Royal, without a restricted bus lane, why didn't TransLink propose that in the first place? I want to comment. You can go online through Google to our West Vancouver Blue Bus. It states it's a great way to get around where you're going. Whether you travel to the ferry, Lions Bay, downtown Vancouver, Cap University, or to UBC. It lists all the buses and where they go. It gives time schedules. And do you know that the Blue Bus began in 1912, is the oldest continuous operating municipal system in North America? Think about that. Now, the buses are part of the TransLink network, but continue to be owned and operated by the District of North Vancouver under a contract to link TransLink. There are 12 routes and 64 fleet. But here's one that really grabbed me. To the president of Local 111 of Coast Mountain Drivers said, and I quote, "It makes no sense for West Vancouver to have its own bus service. Well, the rest of the lower mainland uses another operator." It's sort of a mess. All of us should be integrated. Having West Vancouver with their own little entity out there doesn't work with integration of TransLink. Well, I say to all of you that a facility that we've had going the longest in North America that has provided quality service to this point in time suddenly should be discarded out because we want to foster a new TransLink position. I think not. And so my interpretation of the motion, so that we would try and get a win-win here, I feel a little bit sketchy on the fact that we introduce the B-line back. It says, well, we're not going to put it by schools. We won't go through neighborhoods, and we certainly will have a minimum of loss of parking. Well, that's something that has to be looked at. What is minimum? 10, 12? So it's double-edged sword here, and I'm wanting to be part of a win-win here. And I've looked at all this. The traffic improvements are important for the future, but folks, when you look at this, I know what you're thinking. Well, if they introduce the B-line, they'll come back in again, and it says here, excluding restricted access bus lanes. So I'm assuming through all this, with both this motion and Peter Lambert's motion, Councillor Lambert's motion, that in fact the transit line will be terminated at Park Royal. And from there, we make adjustments along the way through staff's recommendations, Madam Mayor, and hopefully we can come to a better situation in the future and get a win-win. But keep in mind, folks, the nerve to want to say this blue bus system we had all these years should just float away. I find that just incredible.